Good morning and welcome to a new episode of Vlogmas. My name is Sarah. This channel is where I share all about my crafty projects. It's mostly knitting, but we have some sewing and maybe some quilting, and today some little felt ornament making sprinkled in throughout this month. My Vlogmas usually covers like 3-day periods, so this one will be covering the 17th through the 19th. And it will be coming out on the 19th. So I'm so happy to have you here. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm so glad that you found the channel. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It's been a couple days since my last check-in, so I didn't have a check-in on Monday just because it was such a busy day, and today's gonna be kind of similar. But yeah, Monday was really crazy. I was busy in the office all day with work, and then I was teaching my late class. I teach some knitting classes at a local shop called So to Speak. It's an amazing place. If you ever are in Columbus, Ohio and get a chance to stop in, I would definitely recommend it. But I was teaching till 8:30 and went a little bit late on Monday night, so I didn't really have time to check in. And then yesterday I ended up taking the day off work because I just have some PTO I need to use up, and Troy needed to use my car yesterday. And I decided not to film as well. I decided to just give myself a break, just take a day to like totally relax. And to keep my 3-day videos, I had to take a day off at some point. So I just took yesterday off, which was nice and refreshing, and I'm excited to be back with you today. Last night we did have our December guided craft at Gamu Beer Garden, where I host craft nights a couple times a month. And we made felt ornaments. We made Krampus felt ornaments. So it's a German beer hall, and a lot of the crafts that the bar sponsors, the guided ones, tend to be like Germanic or, you know, in that like vein. They like to stick with the theme. So we made Krampus ornaments last night, and here's mine. He's kind of as cute as he could be, I think. We ran out of felt colors fairly quick. It was so popular. It was probably one of the most popular ones we've done. There were so many people there, which was awesome, but we didn't quite have enough felt colors. So I saw the blue, and my sister was making a blue one as well. And I was like, oh, it kind of looks like Derpy from K-Pop Demon Hunters. And someone actually messaged me on Instagram and was like, that looks like Derpy from K-Pop Demon Hunters. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. So he's a cute Krampus. I have never done the felted ornaments before, but it was pretty fun, I have to say. He's got little tiny jingle bells. I mean, he's kind of spooky, but like in a cute way, right? So he's probably gonna go on our main tree. He doesn't exactly fit with my crafting theme here. I suppose he does because I made him, but we'll see. We'll see where he ends up. I think he's cute in like a spooky way. So that was fun. Today I have Adventy things to share with you, but then I'm going to be in the office again, and then I am teaching again tonight. I have a private lesson about steeking, so I'm going to be helping someone with a steeking project. And yeah, I probably won't have time to check in this evening. It's going to be another busy day, but then tomorrow is my last work day in the office of the year. Technically I'm working from home on Friday, but tomorrow's the last day I have to go in. I'm really excited. I'm so ready to have a couple weeks off, just take a nice long break. So let's talk Adventy things so we can get today, let's get on with the day. All right, I'm not fully awake yet, I apologize. Okay, I've done my Advent spin, and here's where we are. I've got quite a bit more since you last saw it. As a reminder, I am doing a 3-ply combo spin. I've been spinning about ½ ounce a day, and I am planning to finish this a few days before Christmas Eve because I would like to be able to cast this on as a jaunty shawl on Christmas Eve. And Andrea Mowry just launched her jaunty along, so she's having a knit along that is like a spin it to knit it. You don't have to spin, but you can. And it's co-sponsored by Daedalus, the spinning wheel company, which is really cool. So yeah, I guess I'll be participating in that. You could check out her Instagram for more details, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it so far. And here's what the fiber looks like. Excuse me. This one is Polworth. I think it's Superwash Polworth. Okay, let's open little Adventy things. I've got my mystery Advent swap from Jess. Apologies for the crinkling. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, big cake of yarn today. Oh my gosh, this has got to be like 50 grams of yarn. It's a really pretty kind of minty aqua color, but look how there's so much there. And a nice tea. Lovely. I've got my lip balm. I am doing a little lip balm advent. My friend Austin has a company called Angel Balms, and he makes lip balms and some other little beauty products, and designs original characters that go with them and lots of other things. And he did a 12-day lip balm advent, and I bought one. So today we have cotton candy. Cute. And here's the little characters. Adorable. Let's see. Oh, this one smells really good. They're all really good. I'm obsessed. Love it. Okay. I'm gifting myself a pair of socks today. So throughout the year, I knit a bunch of socks, and any that are for myself, I just hang on to them, set them aside, and then I gift them to myself throughout the month of December. And this is a really fun pair. This was one of the pairs from Summer Lee's Colorwork Cuff Club. I want to say maybe this was like June. I think it was like a summery one. And I have this gorgeous La Bien-Aimée speckle yarn that I used for the main foot. I think the color is Gypta. It was one of their like anniversary colors. And then I kind of pulled some of the speckle colors out of there to do the color work. These ones are super fun and colorful. I'll definitely be wearing those later. And then sticking on the sock train, I've got my Advent sock updated. So here is where we're at, the 16th stripe. They're getting long. So for these, you all are voting on the colors on Instagram. So if you'd like to vote, please go ahead. It's not too late. We still have, I don't even know how many days left, at least a week. You can follow me on Instagram at Sarah_Seams, and then every day in my stories, you can vote on which color to do. So I picked 20 colors out of my stash that felt Christmassy. I assigned a number to each one, and then every day I'm using a random number generator to pick 3 options, and you all can vote from those options. So today the ones we're voting on are black, red, and pink. So one of those will be the next color, but I did go ahead and get my bright green stripe in on both of these today. You can see where I've added some yarn for my forethought heel, so that's where the heel will be going. Still loving these. They're so fun. Thank you to everyone who's been voting. I'm just totally loving that process. I'll probably do it again next year. Haven't worked on the gnome for a few days, so I am one clue behind. I think the last clue was making his little arms and legs. But I'm not really worried. It's easy to get caught back up on that guy. I can just catch up on him on the weekend if I need to. But I have been working quite a bit on my main Advent project, which is the Wildflower Pullover by Andrea Gaughan. I am knitting this with the Fiber Fox Fade Advent, and I'll show you today's color. We are moving into the pinky purples, my fave. I've been excited to get to these the whole time. And it's getting big. I've made a lot. I'm not, well, I guess I am caught up. I've done 1 row of today's color. So after today, I'm probably going to be a little bit behind again, but I think I will be able to catch back up. So here's where we're at. Love it so much. You can see I am now working on the like upper portions. So I have steeks where the armhole will be. So you can see here is where we cast off stitches. And then now we are working on the front and back upper portions. I'm trying to hold it up some more so you can see the colors. I love how soft the colors are, and like it's obviously a fade, but it's not super loud and like in your face. It's so soft. I'm obsessed. I think she's gonna be gorgeous. I'm loving knitting on this, and at this point the rows are going a bit quicker after we did some decreases for the armhole. So now it takes me about 15 minutes to do a row. Before it was taking about 20 minutes. So when you're doing 6 rows a day, that shaves about 30 minutes off. So it has definitely felt like it's going faster now. And I think that's just gonna continue. And just to reiterate, my goal for this, for Vlogmas, is to finish the body. I don't think it's realistic to finish any more than that. if I don't want to work ahead of the advent, which I'm trying to stay on pace with it and not like do too much. So my goal is to finish the body by the end of Vlogmas, and then hopefully finish the whole thing maybe by the end of the year. It's fingering weight all over color work, including the sleeves. So those sleeves are probably going to take a little bit longer than I'm thinking that they will, but we'll just have to see. It'll get finished eventually, but I am loving it. So I think that's all I have for you this morning. I am going to pop to a coffee shop. I need some coffee this morning. So I'm going to run to work, and I will check back in with you all tomorrow. But I will bring you along and see if I can get a little bit more footage from today. We'll see. Yeah, so I hope you all have had a great couple of days, and let's get going. Good afternoon. It is Thursday, December 18th. It's about 2:45 p.m. and I just got back from our holiday work lunch, which I am never able to really get any footage from, but it was a really good time. We went to a nice restaurant. We all enjoyed some lunch together. We do an ornament swap. Oh, I didn't bring my ornament. Let me get my ornament. Okay, I had to show you the ornament my coworker made for me because it's incredible. Are you ready? What? It's so funny because we just made the felt ornaments at craft night on Tuesday night, but look at it's a freaking Labubu. And it's got the beads. I feel like she took the beaded felted ornament trend to like a whole nother level. It's incredible. Its name is Lady Glitter Sparkles, which apparently is from Trolls, but I thought that it fits. So this is Lady Glitter Sparkles. My coworker made this. I can't get over how incredible it is. So this one's definitely going on the tree in here. This is very special. So I felt frankly honored that she put in the time to make this for me. So obsessed. It's so cute. I have really not gotten to do much of any knitting today, but I am officially done going into the office until January. So I'm free. I'm so excited to have a big chunk of time off. I am working tomorrow from home, but it should be a pretty quiet day. So yeah, I'm really relieved. I just feel like every year after this, I just kind of am like, whew, the rush of like working and doing all the things is over. I can really just kind of ease into the holiday now, enjoy my quiet crafty time. I have 17 days where I don't have to go to the office or work, excluding tomorrow when I will be working. But yeah, basically have like a little bit over 2 weeks now where I can just really relax. So I'm so excited. I really genuinely like my job, and I love my coworkers, but you know, it's always good to have some rest time. So very much looking forward to that. And I will be doing a lot of crafting this afternoon. But I put the stripe in on my Advent socks today, so I can show you those. We had red today. Currently there is like a dark gray is winning for tomorrow's color, but I think it's kind of tied with this dark green. So we'll see where we end up for tomorrow, but I love how fun and colorful these are. You guys are continuing to pick amazing colors. I can't believe we have like less than a week left of Vlogmas now. it's gone so fast. I'm not ready for it to be over. I know we still have 6 more days, but it's going by so fast. But yeah, still loving these so far. So everything from here up is gonna be the leg and everything from here down is the foot. Super fun. Also, we were supposed to wear festive plaids today. That was the theme. So I have my little turtleneck and then my little festive plaid. These earrings that I love are little quilt blocks. They're ceramic. These are by an artist called From Hadley. She is based in Ohio, and I love all of her stuff. I'll link her below. I love getting people gifts from her. I don't know if you'd have time now, but could treat yourself. I really love her stuff. It's so cute. I felt like they went with the black and white theme. Anyway, earring digression. I put a few rows in on the wildflower pullover last night, but not very many. I am 2 rows behind, so today I need to do at least 8 rows. I need to finish yesterday's color and add today's color if I want to be caught up, but that should not be a problem. It's every time I see it on camera, I get so excited. Love it. And honestly, we're not that far from adding another steek for the neck. And then, yeah, I mean, if I stay on track, the body of this is going to be done in 6 days, which is crazy. What else do I have? Oh, I got some yarn today. Oh, I haven't opened it yet. There's going to be some crinkling. Apologies. So my cousin is I don't know if she's a newer knitter. She is just finishing up her first sweater project, and we kind of knit that sweater together. She is an adventurous beginner, to be sure. For her first sweater pattern, we did a lot of modifications. For the next one, we're doing more modifications, so I'm going to be knitting along with her again next year. She is making a modified version of essentially the Lakes V-neck. That's the one that I'm going to be knitting, the Lakes Pullover V-neck by Ozetta, which is just a really classic drop shoulder, or I guess it's saddle drop shoulder V-neck. And I got my yarn for that today. So I am going to be using Durham Natura's Gilliatt in the color Baleen Blue, and it's just a very classic, beautiful navy. It does have some like darker speckles in it, like almost some like black bits, but I realize I don't have I realize I'm knitting a navy sweater right now, but you can understand this is not like a basic classic navy sweater. That's my art navy sweater, and this is going to be my classic navy sweater that I can just throw on over anything. So I love this yarn so much. When she told me she was using this for this pattern, I was like, yeah, I'm going to make one too. So I ordered this from Wool & Co. And I'm very excited. We'll be casting these on New Year's Day. So that's going to be super fun. It's such a good classic navy. I'm really excited about that. Okay, I think that's all I really have to show and tell right now. Like I said, I'm looking forward to like putting my cozy clothes on, making a cup of tea maybe, having a cookie, having a super chill evening. I'm gonna be making dinner later. I'm making like I think it's like farro and cauliflower Parmesan, like a baked dish. So we'll see. I've never made it before, so we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, looking forward to just getting cozy for the next 17 days and really leaning into the crafting. I've still got to do my spinning today. I need to work on the wildflower pullover, and I would like to work on the gnome today. I am a little behind on making all the little parts and pieces for the gnome, so I would like to get started at least on that today. And now that work is pretty much done, I think I will be able to get to some of the other crafts that I really wanted to do this month. Maybe work a little bit on my quilt miss, maybe finish up my Lakes V-neck cardigan that I've been working on. Yeah, I have lots of stuff that I want to do still. So I realize, unfortunately, Christmas is in like 6-7 days. So it's a week from today, I guess. So we're going to be cramming a lot of this stuff in the last week or so here, but that's okay. I hope you'll still come along for all the festivities. So I think we have one more day in this video. I am reaching the point of Vlogmas where I no longer know what day it is, but I think we have one more day in this video. So tomorrow should be a pretty quiet work from home day. We might pop out at lunch to do some of our very last Christmas shopping. And then tomorrow night, I think I may be chatting with my friend Jess. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. And let's go get cozy and do some crafting. Good afternoon. It is Friday, December 19th, and it's almost 4 p.m. I was planning to check in earlier this morning, but I was working from home today, and I just wrapped up with work for the year at 3 p.m. So I'm so happy to be officially on holiday break. I know that not everyone gets that kind of opportunity to have an extended break at the end of the year, so I am really grateful to have it. If you don't have it, thank you for working over the holidays, and I'm sorry that that's not something that is available to everyone, but I am really happy to have a couple of weeks ahead of me with no work. Definitely needed the break, so yes, I'm free. Yesterday did not quite go to plan. I know I got on here and said, I'm gonna do so much crafting this afternoon and tonight. It didn't really work out that way. I should have known that this would be the case because the exact same thing happened last year, but like shortly after I filmed, I like totally crashed and just like took a 3-hour nap. And the exact same thing happened last year, I think, and I said this in last year's Vlogmas too. It's like once you get over that final hurdle before the big rest, I just like crashed out. I was like passed out in the chair right here for like 3 hours and took a big nap. So obviously I didn't get that much crafting done. I did also then go to make dinner and my cauliflower had gone bad, so nothing really worked out the way I intended last night, but it ended up being just fine. I ate some leftovers. Troy and I watched a TV show and then we kind of went to bed early. Today's been pretty relaxed. I was working from home, but I did get some knitting done this morning and on my lunch break. And yeah, now I have some fun stuff to show you. Tonight, we are getting ready to run out and do our last bit of Christmas shopping. We'll see how crazy it is. We are going to a couple of shops in Clintonville, which is like a cute kind of trendy neighborhood, and a lot of my favorite shops are there. But tonight they're having the Clintonville Jamboree, which is like a monthly kind of event where they have live music and food trucks, and like a lot of the shops stay open late and do special sales. And this is obviously the last one before Christmas, so it might be crazy, but we'll see. We're gonna try and go on the earlier end and knock out the rest of our Christmas shopping. So we're gonna go do that. It is cold. It has been snowing all day. There's not like a lot of accumulation, but it has been like flurries all day. So hopefully the roads are okay. We're gonna bundle up and go knock out the rest of the Christmas shopping, hopefully. So yeah, let me show you what I have today. I worked on my spin. I'm so close to being done with this. I only have one more day of fiber to add, and then I get to ply, and I might start plying tomorrow when I finish the spin, if I have time, because plying 3 braids is gonna take, plying always takes longer than I think it's going to, so I might need to divide that up over 2 days, and I wanna make sure everything has time to dry properly before I wanna cast on New Year's Eve. So if I can start plying that tomorrow, I probably will, and I'm so excited to see how it all comes together. Also, I think I have spinfluenced, or several people have spinfluenced my friend Jess. She is just buying her first little spinning wheel and some supplies to get into spinning. So really excited to be able to spin with her and talk spinning with her. I love spinning. I'm so glad that I tried it out a couple of years ago. And if you've been thinking about it, I would really recommend it. You know, she was kind of asking me like, what wheel would you start with? And I only have e-wheels, but I would say I really recommend the electric eel wheel Nano, the little tiny one. That's what was gifted to me. That's what I learned to spin on. And I think if you just want to try it out without making a huge investment, I think that wheel is like under $150. You can just get a little bit of fiber and like try it out. And she was also asking me if I still use mine now that I also have the larger wheel, and I totally do. I still use the Nano all the time. If I'm spinning anything less than 4 ounces, I still spin it on the Nano because, you know, I'm breaking it up into such tiny amounts. It doesn't really make sense to spend like an ounce onto one of these giant bobbins. I still use both. So that's my little 2 cents about spinning, but excited for her to get into it. Speaking of her, we exchanged scrappy advents this year, and I can't remember if I've worn this sweater on Vlogmas yet, but this is my D20 sweater, my first one. I finished it earlier this year, and the pattern I used was Andrea Gaughan's Stripe-tastic sweater, but you can see it's kind of like a big cozy house sweater. But it's crazy. It uses a bunch of fun scraps. The back is different than the front. The sleeves are different from each other. And the way that we made this, Jess and I made these together as kind of a knit along in January of this year. And I had used this method a lot for socks, but I had not yet used it for a garment. So basically we took 20 scrap colors, we assigned a number to each, and then we rolled a 20-sided die to pick which yarn we were gonna use, and then we rolled it again to determine how many rows we would knit with that color. And these were made holding fingering weight double, so you get all this really fun marling. And so the scrappy advent that we're exchanging is so that we can make another set of D20 sweaters in January of this coming year. So that is what the scrappy advent is going to be used for. I might switch up my formula a little bit. Excuse me, I think I'm going to make a V-neck this time, but yeah, that is what we're going to do with our scrappy advents, is make more fun, crazy sweaters. And I also thought of that because the yarn that she gave me today, I think she used in her D20 sweater last year. So this is the yarn today. And this is from Granwico, which is one of our favorite yarn dyers. I actually haven't purchased from them. I've just admired from afar, but I know Jess has gotten their advent and used their yarn several times. This color is called Lake, and it was the main color from their 2024 advent, which I'm pretty sure is the one that Jess used to make her D20 sweater. So yeah, it's gorgeous. So I can't wait to start those again in January. I have some very exciting cast-ons for January. I'm loving all my December projects, but I've got my wheels turning for 2026. And with that, today she also included these super cute little scissors. I have seen these around all over the place, but I've never gotten a pair, and they're so sweet. Love those. Thank you, Jess. You've really spoiled me. I opened my Angel Balms lip balm advent for today, and the flavor today was tiramisu. And here's the little character, very cute. It smells really good. This one definitely smells more like chocolatey. All right, and I am gifting myself a pair of socks today, and they are definitely some of the craziest socks I've ever knit. These were the West Knits Surprise Sock Along, like mystery knit along socks for this year. They're pretty wild. I'm just gonna show one so you can see all the like crazy details on these guys. We used 5 colors. All of mine were solids from Coats & Co. And I think they were kind of inspired by like little candies, and it was so many yarn ends, but you get all of these really fun little textures. I particularly love this little stitch. There's some 2-color brioche. The heel had these like short row wedges. Yeah, they're really fun. I'm so torn. This was my second year doing the like mystery sock knit along, and it's always the month before the mystery shawl knit along. And I feel like these take not as long as the shawl, but they take so much longer than you think they're going to. And they're not the best fitting socks for me. They always turn out a little big. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence if I'll participate in this again next year. I mean, I think they're so fun. Like, I've learned some really interesting techniques, but the resulting product, while fun, is not something I'm gonna wear that often. And the fit is not the best, and they really just take a long time. And I'm not opposed to a project that takes a long time, but to go straight from these into the mystery shawl is maybe a bit much. I kind of wish maybe this one was in the spring and then the shawl was in the fall, but we'll see what I decide when we get back to it next year. I am caught up on my Advent socks. So today's color was this medium kind of heather gray. So here's where we're at. You can see this line of white stripes. That's going to be where the heel is. And I'll probably go ahead and add that at some point in the next few days or so, just so that at the very end, all I'm having to add in is the cuff. Still loving these. And then today, these are the colors we're voting on. Black, dark green, and like a light pinky maroon color. My sister messaged me on Instagram today and was like, every time the black is an option, I get stressed out. I don't want you to use the black. And I'm like, I don't think you need to worry. The black keeps coming up and it keeps losing every time. Clearly nobody wants the black, which is just fine. You all are picking the colors and I'm respecting that. So if we don't want black, we won't have black. We'll just see how it works out. All right, and then I got a lot of work on the gnome done this morning for work. I made all the little pieces from clues 7 and 8. So as an update, as a reminder, here is my gnome. He's currently a blank canvas ready for all of his little bits to be added on. I'm obsessed with him. He's so cute. So here's my little pile of bits and bobs. Let's see. Okay, so first we made what I think are probably arms. This at the bottom is the color of like his skin, I guess. So those are probably the little hands. And then I think these are probably the little arms. And then we made what I thought at first were mittens, but now I think are probably the feet. I don't know how to show these. Some of them still have strings attached so that we can sew them on. So I'm guessing that these are the little feet. And then we made what I'm thinking is the beard with some sideways garter stitch. And this piece I think I'm gonna go ahead and block just because it's kind of curling. So I think I'm gonna block just that piece. And then last but not least, where did it go? Uh-oh, oh no, here. We made what I think is the little nose. And I have to say, this little piece right here was one of the most fiddly things I've ever made in my life. I knit quite a few of these like little tiny like knit in the round kind of animals and amigurumis and stuff, but this little sphere was so hard to make for me because you have to cast on like 4 stitches in the round. And I was doing that with DPNs and it was just needles everywhere. It was just tricky. I think it looks good, you know, it looks like a pretty perfect little sphere. It's gonna be cute, but I was like, oh, I've so enjoyed this entire process until I had to make this little nose, and that part was not super fun, but it is done. So I don't know if this is all the pieces for the gnome or if we're gonna have more. This knit along is over on the 21st, so we only have 2 more days. I'm guessing maybe there's like 1 or 2 more clues that are going to be like assembling and finishing touches, because also as a reminder, he has a little pair of skis as well. So at some point we're going to have to pull it all together. So yeah, really excited. I'm so excited to gift this to my future sister-in-law. I think she's going to freak out and I think she's going to love it, and I hope she does. And I hope she hasn't been watching this. They have a young baby, so I'm guessing they're not watching this. And if you are watching, sorry I spoiled it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and block the beard, and then I think we might be done with all the knitting for him, but I'm not sure yet. Today's Fiber Fox color was a really pretty pink. The pinks are starting to warm up a little, so I'm guessing we're gonna end with like a peachy kind of color. And I did get all of yesterday's rows added. So I finished a motif that is firmly in the pink now. It's really, really pretty. I love how soft this fade is. Like, you know, you can clearly see it's going from yellow to green to blue to purple to pink, but it's not like super dramatic. If anything, I think the yellow kind of sticks out the most. You can see maybe on the side where my sleeve steek is. Here's about how much progress I've made on the top portions of the body. And I haven't added any of today's rows yet. I have a feeling I'm going to be catching up on this guy in the few days leading up to Christmas, probably. But I really don't have that much more to do. There's only 1 more repeat of the floral stripe before I'm going to be casting off some stitches for the neck opening. So then we'll have even fewer stitches on the needles. There is going to be a very small portion at the top of each shoulder where I have to knit the color work flat. And I think it's maybe only like 6 rows on the fronts, on each front and on the backs. So it's not a lot, but the last like day, the last the last day of knitting before Christmas is probably going to be that colorwork flat knitting. And I just need to remember to leave a little extra time for that. And if I have time, stretch goal would be to like try adding the collar or something. But I'm going to be so pleased if I get this body done by Christmas Day. You know, I feel like that will have been a huge achievement. So we're still rolling with that. I might get a chance to work on it later tonight when we get back. I think I might be hopping on a call with Jess tonight, so I'm sure we'll talk spinning and maybe I'll be able to work on this guy. I'm also gonna have to edit this video later tonight. So the rest of the day is gonna be a bit busier than the first half of the day, but that's okay. It's all good things. And one more thing, I was sucked in. I'm hopping on the trend of the paper/fabric chains. I feel like everyone and their mother is making these this year, and I wasn't super enticed by the paper chain. I helped my cousin make one at Thanksgiving. She brought all her supplies to Thanksgiving and was just like, we're making a paper chain, and it does look really cute. You will have seen that in, I think, the last vlog when we went to her apartment for dinner. She had it like hung up all really beautifully outside her kitchen, and there was like a pine swag with it. I mean, it looks amazing, but I don't know, for some reason the paper one doesn't appeal to me as much because I think it will be harder to store and not quite as long lasting, maybe, depending on how you care for it. But I saw on Instagram last night, I saw someone making fabric paper chains, but they were just like tearing strips of like vintage fabrics or like shirts that they cut up, just fabrics that they already had. They were just tearing them into strips, and then they were using fabric Velcro to assemble them. And I had seen Into the Third use this as well in her Vlogmas with some ribbon, but I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff to make one of these, which was kind of why I was resisting it. I didn't want to buy ribbons or paper or whatever, but when I saw this person just ripping up like scrap fabrics, I was like, oh, well, I have a whole bunch of scrap fabrics, like I could do that. So I ordered some of the fabric Velcro. Mine came in a roll, so I'm gonna have to like cut this up into little pieces. And you know, who the heck knows if / when I'm gonna even have time to do this or not. But I got the supplies and I had a little bit of fun going through my scrap like quilting fabrics, and I pulled out these. So this is like kind of a non-traditional Christmas palette, but where I'm thinking that this is gonna live is in our kitchen. Like up above our cabinets, we have a solid area of drywall that goes all the way around, and I think it would be really pretty to hang the paper chain up there. And our kitchen, you've probably seen in the videos, is like vintage avocado green. The whole thing is like green floors, green countertops, green oven. Like it's very outdated, but we're just embracing it for now. But I thought this palette would look really good in there. So hopefully I'll find some time to tear up some fabric strips and make some paper chain, but we will see. Yeah, so this is gonna be the last check-in for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that, like I said, I hope that if you have some time off work coming up, I hope that that is nearing for you and that you're gonna have some rest ahead of you. And if not, thank you for working. You know, I know it's not, you gotta do what you gotta do. Not everyone is in that situation. So I see you. If you don't get a break, hang in there. I'm sorry. But I hope that you can find some time for yourself regardless, and for your crafting and your making or whatever it is that is bringing you joy this time of year. So I would love to know what that is. If you want to leave me a comment, if I hadn't heard from you yet, please say hi. You can tell me where you're watching from or what it is that's bringing you joy right now in this time when it is getting dark at 4 p.m. and it's snowing all the time. So with that, I'm gonna log off for this video. I can't believe we're only gonna have 2 more episodes. Well, probably 3. I think I'm gonna do like a wrap-up episode after Christmas. So probably 3 more episodes, but Christmas is fast approaching. So I will see you on the next episode. Please make sure you like and subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things. You can ring the bell if you want to be notified when those last 3 episodes are coming out. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.